we've got a wind very light from the northeast, 1 knot. That's 1.15 miles or 1.85 kilometers per hour. If you find any of the exercises I offer in this series too easy, that's fine. I'm happy for you. Move right on to the next one. It will get tougher. But I'm deliberately going slower for those of you who have been having difficulty. And in that group, there are lots of people with huge amounts of fixed wing experience who find multi-rotors a little bit tricky, okay? That's my job to make it easy. And I'm gonna break it down step by step. Today is lift off the ground and put it back down. And there are no prizes for how long you stayed in the air or how high you went. So here we have the Walkera. I'm plugging in my voltage checker, and that's saying that I've got 12.4 volts, that's fine. And now the transmitter's turned on and that's got sufficient for the test. Now, this has a warm-up process. Its flashing green light tells me it's going through its checkout system. When that light goes out, it means it's ready to go. And I arm it. It's armed. I'm bringing the throttle up. And when it's starting to shiver, well, I can see the yellow disc shivering, so it must be getting close. A bit of right roll, a bit of left roll, a bit of forward cyclic, a bit of aft cyclic. It's looking fine. Now I'm going to give it the nudge. It's in the air. And now coming back a fraction. Okay, good point. Lowering it, easing it down, and it's down. Let's help ourselves with facing straight into the wind. So the wind is going to be blowing it backwards. I'm adding on a few notches of forward cyclic. Now it's very important to remember, with a quadcopter, there's no problem trimming the roll or the pitch, but do not trim the rudder or the throttle. About to lift off. Just checking the roll, just checking the pitch, that's all good. Here we go. Give it a nudge to get it off the ground cleanly. Up. Beautiful. No wonder they say it's easy to fly. I'm lowering it now, adding power, lowering, adding, lowering, adding, lowering. And throttle down, and very, very slowly down. The going down process is much harder than the going up. I'm going to focus on holding it level. I'm going to get it into the air, and I'm going to try and hold it in the air for a short time. Checking roll. Checking pitch. Check OK. Lifting off. So now, to keep it hovering at that height, I have to add and subtract power constantly. And also I'm making microscopic adjustments on the roll and the pitch. Now it is easy for me because I've got to the point of being intuitive with this. For you, it will not be so easy. And you can help yourself if you really want to, and I'll give you a demonstration. Okay, I've just clicked on to the dual rate function of this transmitter. Now it's got a lot easier. Up we go. Maintain that height with the throttle, adding and subtracting almost constantly. Your thumbs will turn into rubber. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And my roll thumb and my pitch thumb working hard, easing the throttle. When it gets light, I want to see if it's responding in the correct sense. I give a touch of right, and that's good. It's responded in the right sense that way. Now I'm responding on 4.5, pushing forward, and it's responding in the correct sense. That test should be done before every takeoff. Bringing up the throttle, it's starting to shiver. I give it a nudge, and it's in the air. And I'm going to lower it very, very gently. Now, when I lower it, I'm adding on a tiny amount of power when it gets close to the ground. Okay, easing the throttle, easing, adding, easing, adding, easing, adding, easing, and it's down. This is hovering. It's like a balloon. If there's any wind, it will go in whichever direction the wind is blowing, which is why we always launch during training straight into the wind, so that when it comes back, it's going to hack us off at the shins, and we won't allow that to happen. So if it starts to wander back towards you, you have to add a little forward cycling. Now the moment it isn't level, it loses height. So the moment you have to adjust the level to a little forward, you've got to add a little power, because otherwise it will lose height. So now we've got a wind, we've taken off, and it wanted to do that. So we gave it a small amount of forward, and we added a little power, and it went forward. Now we're slowly flattening it out until we've got just the right amount of forward angle to hold it hovering over the spot. That takes a lot of practice, but that's what we're on about. Practice, practice, practice. It doesn't matter how many batteries you have to recharge. You will develop the skills for safe takeoff and safe landing. Once you've mastered those skills, you're really ready to tackle the world.